And what is up, everyone? It's your boy DM Aaron Raphael Amin, and in this episode, we will be interpolating ads for Cerveza Cristal throughout. All of our players have this written and ready to go. That being said, Ohio Hex, Kano, Ibrahim QK, and a good old friend, Suicide Snowboy Riley, is back. Say hi to everyone. Everyone, hi back. As always, check out our QR code. We got Mates of Fates, great friends, great players, great DMs, just great people all around. TT Tomes, if you want some homebrew or want to buy some D&D themed such and such, and or Beyond the Review podcast, if you want to get some unique perspective on some of your favorite films. Still coming up, you can check them out on Instagram, and TikTok is Just Two Brothers. They have some pretty funny stuff on there, and they're kind of helmed by one of our players, not going to say who, Ibrahim Kafkaf. And with all of that being said, I don't think I've missed anything outside of our 10% off coupon for Dice Legion in the QR code, so feel free to take care of those. St. Patrick's Day is the next holiday coming up. If you guys celebrate by buying gifts for people, I'm sure you'll be able to find some green dice or alcohol themed dice, whatever you would like. With all that being said, I think it is time for a recap. He nods in preparation. The stage is dark and the spotlight is on. Music begins to play.
Nice, there it is. Can't do it without the music.
It wouldn't be anything without the music.
We met with a speaker of 2-0, cryptic and unhelpful, and he agreed to meet at the Accord of Chained Wings. We traveled north to the outpost of Phoenix's Rest, where we saw the flag of Viscondia fly. For Air said that meant bad blood and old wounds. But if the Kairos have taught me anything, that you don't have to let your past define you. At some point, Air said assaulted a tribesmate and was banished. Don't know much more than that, and I don't need to. He's given me the grace of not bringing up my past, I'll give him the same. He met his sister Maisie and tried to build a bridge. Meanwhile, we parlayed with the leader of Phoenix Rest, Trust, a dragonborn paladin and man of the people. He offered us healers and aid in exchange for an honest day's worth, so we agreed to stay in Phoenix Rest.
And on that note, the sun rises on Phoenix Rest, and for the first time in a long while, you feel calm. You feel peace as you all awake out of your various areas, whether it be the tents you set up somewhere along Phoenix Rest or Maisie's home closer to the tribe of Viscondia for Airsid. You see people out working, smiling, laughing. You feel camaraderie here. No one's fighting. Everything in Elbrin is miles away. At least you would like it to be. So, my friends, how do you start your day?
Is it today and
Okay,
tomorrow?
about my book.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it today and tomorrow you have to read 12 hours? Or was it yesterday and today?
So that's why I gotta bring up my book, is because yesterday, when I was on the day that I was talking to Maisie, was the end of the 4th day.
Okay.
So, assuming, like, the day ends and we're, like, getting ready for bed, can I get some reading in, like, as I'm going to bed that night?
Absolutely.
Okay, do you think I could get 4 hours, 6 hours?
How much do you need?
I need 24. So, if I could get, like, if I could get 8 for the day 4, then I can also dip into today.
You did 4 earlier, right?
I did 4 in between day 3 and this day. It was kind of nondescript because we were traveling with haste, and so it was just kind of like, oh, throughout the travel we like take some breaks, and I read 4 hours. So that I got those 4 hours. That's what brought me to 24. But if I can get 8, like 8 more on this day, then I can do my trance thing, wake up at 4 in the morning and read like another 8 or something.
Okay, so today being the second day in Phoenix Rest, how much do you need? And is this your last day or is tomorrow your last day?
The next day will be the last day. So today, like, the day that we are waking up in Phoenix Rest is the beginning of day 5.
Okay, and so how much more time would you like in day 4? I'm sure we can work it in. I just need to know how much.
8 to bring me, and then that will bring me to 32.
Okay, so if you can get 8 more hours yesterday, then you'll be on track to start again today, whenever.
Yeah.
Okay. If 4 of those hours are part of today, is that going to screw you up?
4 of the 8?
Yeah, if they were like from 12 to 4 in the morning. So 4 hours from yesterday, 4 hours today, you sleep, you trance, and then now everyone gets up.
At 8. So I have 32, so I need another 16.
So if you did 8 hours today and then 8 hours tomorrow, you would be fine.
Yes.
Okay, so today you would technically get 12 hours.
Right, so starting day 5, I've already hit 4 hours. Then I'm going to trance, and then I'm going to wake up.
And then you're going to shoot for 8 more at some time in the day.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
And then would you have stayed with the party, or do you think you would have tried to house with the rest of Iscandia?
That's interesting, because we didn't go back to the conversation with Maisie. I don't know. I think I would want to. I would tell her. You know, I guess we can just rough this out. I would tell her I would love to, like, you know, pitch my tent right next to hers, but if, you know, because I want to spend time near her and the other tribes people of Iscandia, but if that puts too much of a strain on people and people don't like that, then that's okay. I can go camp with my compatriots.
Roll persuasion.
17.
She kind of relays to you that she may feel certain ways about you, a complex multitude of feelings, but none of that can sway the rest of the tribe in a day.
Sure. So I'll go camp with my friends.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do yesterday? Because I am purposefully trying to get us through everything that's happening. So if there's anything I missed, that's my bad. So let me make sure that yesterday is nice and tied up before we get started.
I think we're good.
Okay, cool.
If they have healers, I've got a broken arm that I wanted to ask them about and see if I could find a healer to work on it.
You would not find anyone strong enough to cast Regenerate at the time. Okay. So the party's back together. There's a decent, kind of encampment of Phoenix Rest's refugees, where I'm sure you guys could find some solid placement. Ersid, are you starting the day by reading?
Yeah, I think I'll start by reading and maybe having a small breakfast that I have in my rations and drinking tea, waiting for everyone to get ready and do stuff.
Okay, sounds good. The rest of you, what are your plans for the morning? How do you address your morning routine?
I don't know. Just wake up and get ready. Stretch a little bit. I know we're gonna have to do hard labor.
Yeah, we agreed to help out today, so I'm getting my painter supplies. I'm cleaning my brushes.
Okay, you all get up, you have breakfast, Ersid's reading, everyone's just kind of hanging out, and your tent kind of flies open, and you see Trust again in full silver armor, just shining in the rays of the Dreamer's flame, and he kind of mimes a knock, as you can kind of hear his voice echo through his helm. So, are we ready to get to work? If you still need rest, we can absolutely wait. Whatever your strengths are, we'll put you where you need to be. But the rest of us are already out here.
Ready to go.
Okay.
And that's something about your can-do attitude is making me kind of excited for this.
Well, work is work, but I know that when Phoenix Rest is finished, it will be a sight to behold by all of Elbrin. You can kind of hear him smile with his words as he kind of clanks and begins to walk away, leading you guys to work. It sounds like, Vincent, you're trying to paint, correct? Okay. And Narissa, are you helping with like the building efforts? Where do you think Narissa's strengths would be most needed?
Yeah, lifting heavy stuff,
Okay.
tying things together, holding stuff down.
You think you can tie things? I don't think you can tie things.
Moving, like heavy.
No, I know she can
Yeah.
move stuff. I heard that, but she said tying things together, and I don't think.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's too difficult, like easy stuff, you know.
Sure, that's just an intelligence roll with sleight of hand, which I don't think you're proficient in.
Yeah, but that's to tie like a complex knot, like to tie
That's the
something
tie.
down.
That's the tie knots.
Am I
like the bunny through the?
What were you asking, Ibrahim?
am I helping them right now?
That is up to you.
I think you're reading, aren't you?
Yeah.
Would you like to focus reading until midday, or would you like to help at the beginning of the day and read at night? How do you think Ersud would approach this situation?
I think he knows that his friends know that he needs to read this book. And so I guess I would ask out of politeness, be like, hey, is that all right if I do some reading, crunch it in the morning, and then I join you guys up at noon?
What if you get someone to read the book to you while you work?
I don't think that would work.
Fortunately, I don't think it
No
counts.
podcasts.
Nope, you can't podcast a magical book. I'm sorry.
Damn.
It's a shame. Up to you.
That's important what you're doing. Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
just be busting our asses out here.
Yeah, enjoy your reading.
I really
Kind of gives you a little
appreciate
punch
it.
on the shoulder.
Yeah. I'll
I
catch
guess
up
on
with
the
you
thigh.
guys.
I guess he'd punch you in the thigh.
And Uwasa is working, I assume, as well.
Yeah, so I'll catch up with them at noon.
Okay.
I'll cut wood, I'll saw things, I'll lift and move stuff.
Okay.
You can hammer things.
Yeah.
I don't think you have that proficiency either.
Is that a proficiency?
To hammer a nail?
That was a joke. That was
Oh.
I kid.
I can't do anything.
I'm sorry. All you're good for is lifting and fighting. The martial conundrum. Let me see what I think Uwasa would be good at. So that way you can roll for her to see how she can best help. While I'm doing that, Narissa, give me 3 athletics checks, and Vincent, I would like 3 checks with painter's tools. I would suggest dex based.
Pretty.
What about
booty
anything
holes.
but Dex? What about wisdom?
Wisdom? Tell me how you're using wisdom to paint.
I'm picking out the colors. I'm using my head to think about it. I'm like looking at the thing and using my sense of sight. I'm not speed painting here.
Sure. I would just consider it a dexterous activity, but if your goal is to more enhance the culture of Phoenix Rest through your paint, I will allow wisdom checks. Just know that you're not going to be getting much done. Maybe we could use that as a way to instruct the other painters.
Okay,
Okay,
just one or multiple?
3, please.
19, 16, 15.
19 plus 16 is
Kind of
35, 15 is 50 divided by 3. Okay.
It's a good thing I'm strong.
That's not bad.
The rolls were.
They're really not that bad.
I mean, considering you have a,
That's an average of
Plus what?
17.
what do you have in
Or 16.
athletics?
I have a +8, and then I get a D4 on top of it.
15, 14, and 21.
Okay, understood. And then Ersid, let's see. Uwasa would probably help by like. To me, I think her best bet would be like, honestly, cooking and supporting the rest of the workers.
That was actually what I was gonna say, like cooking, or maybe like, people get like a burn rash from holding rope, or like, stub their toe. She can like heal that. I don't know, stuff like that.
Okay, then let's just go survival for her. So 3 survival checks from her, please.
Okay. Oh wow, that's cool. So that's 15, 15, and 16.
Okay, cool. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm doing my math right. I think I am.
46.
Yep, I am. Okay. So Marissa, you feel a little muddled. You feel like you're not able to give this your all as you kind of push and work, and you feel like you're constantly being battered by what's next. Who are we going to speak to next? What is tragedy going to say? What's going to happen when we find ourselves back at the Othian Palace? And to you, you're a little disappointed with what you've done, but all the workers around you are extremely appreciative as you've helped set up the wood, the foundation for at least 4 or 5 more buildings within the area, more than they could get done by themselves alone. You really did a great job. Vincent, you're able to use your understanding and know-how of painting, of color work, of how a city's culture can be influenced by the colors that are prevalent within their society. However, you spend a little bit kind of butting heads with the refugees, as your dwarven background really shows a very neutral approach to color where they want something more vibrant. You guys come to an agreement, but it takes a little bit longer than you would like before painting really begins to start. Uwasa, the whole
Artistic
time.
differences.
Yeah.
Classic.
You got an average of 13, so and then Uwasa, Ersid, you can kind of see her. You kind of keep an eye on her as you see her swifting in and out between like the tents, the refugees, the builders, always with something different in hand, whether it be some sort of bandages, whether it be what looks to be little snacks and sandwiches. She even stops in a couple of times to give you a kiss, to check on your reading, and to make sure you're being fed. And she lets you know that in about an hour, the whole town's going to kind of quiet down for lunch, for everyone to take a rest, to take a break, and she would like you to be there. And this is, so you would be there around 12, so you should be able to get those 6 hours you were asking for.
Okay, cool.
Cool. And so, go ahead.
So if I have an idea then. I'm gonna finish up that piece of the book that I'm working on, and then maybe I'll like sneak out to the canteen or the cafeteria or wherever and ask if they need help, and I can help them that way since I was just reading the whole time.
Okay, so let me make sure we're on the same page here. You're going to go from 6 hours to 5 hours and to use that last hour to help prep with Phoenix Rest.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll survival for me.
Just one?
Yeah, for an hour, that's all you'll need.
28.
Jeez. Okay. One thing I do want is I want a persuasion roll at disadvantage before I go through all of this.
Dirty 20. No. 22.
Okay. You get to, I guess, the canteen. Basically, it's like kind of like an outdoor soup kitchen, kind of like what you would see after the devastation of some sort of natural disaster or something like that. Is kind of what it's most reminiscent to. And you go out, and there's a couple of people who are even refusing to talk to you. Obviously, Iskandian and Origin, but Maisie kind of fights on your behalf, saying that work is work and food is food, and if there's anyone who can cook an Iskandian recipe, it would be an Iskandian or an exile Iskandian, doesn't matter. And they kind of acquiesce to her as you are able to bring out the flavors of your tribe in such mass without losing any quality, with the help that's around you. Tell me, what is Iskandian cooking like?
It's like they have like really good like a goulash type of soup, so like a really meaty soup, and then they have like pierogies, basically like think like Eastern European deep fried dumplings with meat and vegetables inside of them, and then probably like bratwurst and sauerkraut, like that kind. I'm thinking like real like Northern European, like Eastern Europe kind of a cuisine.
Yeah, no, I definitely see it. And even Uwasa's a little impressed. And she can tell that there's something happening that is making you want to put in some extra effort. And you can tell with her that she's actually really proud of you and the efforts you've made, even so small, here, seeing your tribe again. And everyone kind of gets together, and you can see that the whole town is kind of at like a town square. They're sitting on the floor, they're sitting on stumps, they're sitting on old wood that's waiting to be moved for foundations, stones, whatever it might be. But there's a good, 200 people just around. The fervor and energy of this community is intoxicating, almost enlightening. And as you guys all sit together,
and then I have this moment where I'm like serving up food and I'm like laughing with my fellow crew, and I just think to myself, man, I sure wish Kane were here. He could play some music, let it light this place up. Yeah.
Rough. And, in that moment, you kind of see a vision of Kane, and you're thinking, oh, yeah, he would love this. He would play some music. People would be really into it. And all you can think about is how anytime Kane has pulled out his violin, it's been some of the saddest emotions you have ever heard. Which still brings a memorable smile to your face as Trust kind of pats you on the back and snaps you out of it, and he looks at all of you, his hands on his hips. You've all done good work today. And Ersid, this food is wonderful. You are truly Iskandian, aren't you?
Well, thank you, but I learned from my mom. That's all I learned.
Well, she taught you well. I will leave you all to be, sure. But if you can't help any more for the rest of the day, it would be appreciated. That being said, if there is much that you must do, I will not stop you. I understand the life of an adventurer. And he kind of gives you guys a thumbs up as he kind of makes his way off. You can see he's talking to who has brought in more refugees, and Wine Merrill shows up. You guys look over and you kind of wave at him, and he just kind of raises his hand, not sure what to do, how to react to that really, as they seem to be convening in some sort of conversation.
They're talking about what we talked about.
So I'll walk over to my compatriots. I'm like wiping my hands on my apron. So, how was it?
I'm like covered. You can see it on my hands and my fingers and even in my hair of like various shades of the Ascondian green and the yellow that we were arguing about. Splattered all over me. I'm just like, these people, they're garish.
It was not my best work, only 4 or 5 more buildings ready to be built, but I probably could have done 10 if I pushed myself.
Well, it was nice that we decided to stay, I think. But speaking of that, what do you think our timeline should be?
I'm
We
not
got
sure.
5 days till we accord.
Or do we have 4 now? Is this...
It will be on the 5th. This is the 30th, so not counting today, I guess you would have 4 days because you want to be there on the 5th. There wouldn't be much that you could do.
Yeah, so today, tomorrow, the next day, and then we have to be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and I'll like walk into the back of the kitchen that I was working in and see, can I grab like some drinks for everyone and bring them out to our table and we can talk about some stuff?
Sure. There's probably like tea bags that are kind of made to sit in lukewarm to cold water, nothing that needs to be heated up right now. And sort of the, they probably actually have hot tea with how close you guys are to the cold north.
Yeah, okay. I'll bring out some tea. I pull up a stool and sit down on a piece of lumber that was being used for construction.
All these makeshift tables kind of sitting around.
Yeah.
Really
I like
large
it.
tree stumps and things like that.
Nice.
Have you given any more thought, Nerissa, to Salt?
I have been thinking about it. That was probably why I was so distracted earlier.
Sure.
We don't know exactly what we are to do. I would have to get details from Senkali of the mission. But
Can't you message him?
I can ask him now.
Can't you just text him?
I can text him. I can shoot him a text right now. I just worry that I don't think we want to try and squeeze it in before the meeting, but
It's possible we could have time after the accord.
yeah,
go.
we could go if we wanted to, and Ersid could pick up an item. I can give back his timepiece, and then we come back to Weisgard, and then when we're ready to go, he can just use whatever item he picks up.
That's true. Though if we go there, then we have to wait until the morning. But I suppose you could go at the end of the day, show up, pitch a camp, and then wake up and then leave.
You read and then wake up and leave, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little silly, but like it works. And then instead of
It's something to do with the time to try and be more efficient.
Yeah.
and then we can write those letters to Lachlan and who else? Your father.
My father and Tomomori.
Mhm. We can do those now
Sure.
if you want to.
Yeah, I can. I'll write the one. Well, actually, they're both my relatives, so maybe that's something that I should do. Actually,
What would you like them to say? And who are you starting with?
I guess I'd start with my dad because I think that'd be easier.
Okay.
And I like pull out a piece of paper and a pen, and then I'm like getting ready, and then I go. So what are we saying again? What do we need to?
To your father?
No, to my dad.
What?
That's what I said. That's so funny. Yeah, your father.
Oh, you said father. I heard brother.
Oh, no, you're
okay,
good. That's
okay.
just funny. To your father? No, my dad. I think all we need to do is ask him what Tomomori is willing to give us in assistance to war, whether it be troops or healing or maybe even some kind of divine magic to help us decide the correct course of action with Sadame.
Okay. I'll write. Hi, Dad. It's me, Ersid. Now, DM, can you tell me what I would know, if I would know, the Green Elves' knowledge or opinion about Arid? Like, what would I assume they already know about them?
Let's do a history roll to see how much you talked to them about their relationship with Arid, please.
Okay. 9.
All I can tell you is that when you kind of brought it up to Kakazu, it wasn't something he really wanted to talk about because they leave a bad taste in his mouth. And there's a reason that there were many Arid prisoners along with you in that dungeon when you went to Tomomori.
That's right. That is right. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good that I have that at least as a base. So I'll say, hi, Dad. It's me, Ersid. I'm sure you're aware of the happenings, or maybe you're not, but it should be known that Arid is marching. Are they actively marching towards Weisgard? They are, correct?
They're actively marching towards Burnwell. You don't know if they're
Burnwell.
Yeah.
Okay. Arid has taken occupation in Burnwell, and they're actively marching troops there, and we have reason to believe that they are planning mass invasions across Norfane. I don't mean to startle you with this, but this does seem to be a serious issue that needs to be dealt with. And then I kind of give them the breakdown of what we're doing at the summit, the Accords in Weisgard. And I guess I would invite him there if it's possible and safe for him to attend on the 5th. That way, I kind of explained to him that we're trying to get people together there so that we can further discuss plans and operations to deal with Arid. And then I guess I'll say, if it's not possible for you to go there, just write back to me or try and communicate to me in some way. We're looking for what efforts you can provide as support. Can you provide troops, manpower, spell power? Do you have any long-range capabilities? I kind of give him the rundown of the magical field. What is that? What do we call that again?
The anti-magic field?
The anti-magic field. And like, if there's anything that's long range,
This letter is written in like the tiniest script.
I mean, this isn't exactly what he's saying.
No, I'm just imagining you writing everything you say.
I think it's a 2-page letter, but that's okay. Yeah, so
It's front and back, because you only have the one piece of paper, because it's the origami birds that you're sending, I'm sure.
Oh, okay, yeah, front and back. Yeah, I think we have enough space to say all this. And then so I explain to him the long range thing because they have the anti-magic field, and so that would be strategically beneficial. And then yes.
Okay, so that's one letter. What about to Lachlan?
I don't think you need to explain as much because he can come to you, can't he? Just say something like, you really wish to speak to him and make amends.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Dear Lachlan, it's been some time since we've spoken. I'd love to chat with my brother. If you have some time and you can apparate to me, there's a lot of things I wish to discuss with you.
Do you think you should bring up Maisie? That
yes.
Back in touch with her. Maybe?
Yes, that's a good idea. I've spoken with Maisie recently, and in fact, as I write this letter, I'm with the Escondian tribe right now. I don't know if you care, but maybe you do. So I'll be here for a day. I actually don't know how your magic works, and if you want to apparate to me, if you need to know where I am. But if you can't find me, I will be in Weisgard on the 5th. So, hit me back, bro. Sure would love to talk.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check, please.
Very good.
Dirty 20.
Okay, good to know. Vincent, how many more of those paper birds do you have? Because this would have been the third one used.
I honestly do not remember picking these up. I don't know how many I was given.
You didn't write it down? Okay, then we're gonna say that's all of them.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So, did they just fly off on their own magically to the?
They do.
Yeah. Do we know how fast they are?
They're about as fast as a normal bird.
Oh, okay. And can they be responded? No, they can't be responded to. That's why tragedy has to have someone message to us, huh?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
They might be able to send them back. So I'll look into that. But we'll see. So you send those, and the letters magically fold themselves into the shape of little cranes as they begin to take flight, unhindered by the air, by gravity, as you see them both raise up and split off in two very different directions, one to the north and one to the east.
One to the north and one to the east.
Yeah, one above, one kind of like southeast.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, Connor, let's see. They say there's going to be a +3 sheets of paper. So we'll say that you have 3 left.
I wonder if we wrote this to the leader of Arid, would that lead us directly to him?
It would get us as far as the magical barrier, and then it would drop and fall like
yeah.
it's just paper. I know it's super annoying.
But could we follow it to Man-Eater Mabel? Or anyone that we need to find?
I suppose, in theory, if we would have to kind of track it very. We wouldn't be able to stop, because I think it would just keep going. So.
Yeah, that might be kind of difficult.
Mm-hmm. I guess there's always like, can you scry on an object?
Roll Arcana.
I'm not gonna fucking know. Yeah, that's a 4. I have no idea.
Nope.
If you can, I don't know if you can, maybe you can't. If you can, then you could send it to her and like scry on it or something maybe.
Yeah. Something to keep in mind.
But I think that's all we can do for now as far as this whole campaign goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did we want to camp in Chol tonight? Or do you want to finish reading your book? What do we have left to do this week? This
Nothing.
upcoming.
Just the...
Maybe we should give Ersa time to finish his book then.
He can finish the book in Jolt if we want to do it that way.
Well, I mean, if like a dinosaur comes and gets us, then maybe not.
There are dinosaurs.
Oh, great. I mean, if it's like 2 o'clock right now, we could teleport there whenever we want. We could leave at like 9 or 10 and camp at 10 at night. Right.
It really doesn't matter to me. We can do whatever. We have a bit of time. It's a little flexible.
But yeah, who else do we need to speak to?
I believe that's everyone.
What's everyone?
Has the tragedy contacted us back yet at all?
No.
That's the only person I know. I guess we haven't talked to Kanoa, but he's coming to
yeah.
Everybody else are people that I don't know who they are, so...
We talked to the
great.
speaker, we talked to Senkali, we've sent letters to Roskavan leader and your Ersid's father. We've talked to Phoenix Rest people and Waipo. That's kind of really what we've got.
I think we could maybe do some more convincing of the Weiss Guardian leadership, because we need them to agree to break the accord so that we can have access to the Wyvern riders.
That's
And
what
I don't think they're...
That's what the end of the week is for, though.
I know, but I feel like if we don't do anything, they'll just stay stuck in their ways. But if we get in their little ears...
I mean, we kinda can, but at the same time, like, I know for a fact that there's like 3 of them, which are cool. Like, they'll probably agree with us at least, because there's Nuri, Sallow, and I vaguely remember like Glara, that guy, he was super cool with like a lot of stuff. He was very open-minded, it seemed. And then Estrid is kind of like a maybe. I would say she's probably more likely to be swayed. I think Desiree is our hardest sell, and there's like the dwarf guy, Tongaroa or something.
But I think if we can get the others to fold, then Desiree will follow.
Yeah, so maybe we talk to the maybes and just shore them up on our side before we get to table and it's kind of out of our hands. I don't know if they'll listen to just three randos during a big meeting.
I mean, we're
Well,
not random.
We're not random. They know us.
Mhm. I fought by Nuri and Tangaro's side while the dragon attacked Weisgard. I would hope that that would at least show them that I mean well.
Okay, I mean, if you feel confident, I'm just trying to think of ideas of what to do during these next couple of days.
I mean, as soon as we're done, we can just go back to Weisgard. I don't want us to come off as, like, too pushy. Because if you push someone too much, they just put up more walls.
It's true.
I guess. But I don't want to gamble on 3.5 when 4 is what we need. Or does it need to be unanimous? I don't even know.
I think the mother decides. She probably gets final vote.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that she has been empathetic or sympathetic to our causes in the past. I'm not worried about it. Like, if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. If they're not, then they're not.
Okay, so what else should we do?
I guess I'm just gonna go read.
All right.
And Uwasa kind of like tugs on you a little bit, Ersid, and she kind of has a pouty face. Her arms are folded. She's kind of tapping her foot.
What's that?
We are in the presence of your home, yes? Your family?
Yes. Yes.
And you are not going to introduce me to your sister?
Damn.
Ooh.
Right. You're right. I'm sorry, just been kind of concerned about this silly book. But that's important, so let's go do that.
And she kind of smiles. Only if you think it is time.
Well, it's either now or it's in a few hours, so I think now is as good as ever. And, you know, that conversation I had with Maisie last night, I guess it ended better than I thought it would. And she kind of stood up for me a little bit in the kitchen. So, I think it's a good time.
Well then, Mr. Min Iskandia, after you.
Okay. So we'll go to find Maisie, presumably at her tent.
And you're kind of looking around until finally you see her, and she's speaking with a familiar face. Long, sort of drooping cheeks, not as gaunt as they used to be, eyes sunken into their sockets, a very disapproving look wherever their eyes lay upon. Their thinning gray hair scrambles to cover what is left of their cranium as they turn and look at you, lithe in body, and you remember this is the specific tribe elder that exiled you.
Mm-hmm.
That framed you.
But I would remember his name. Right?
I was going to ask you what his name was, but I can also name him.
Dang, was that in my background?
It was not actually.
Yeah, I don't think it was. So have at it.
Okay, this is Killian.
It's
Okay.
Killian
Oh, I like
Murphy.
Yeah. It's Irish, Scottish. Yeah. Um, I guess I stop in my tracks, kind of surprised. I don't know why. Perfectly reasonable that he would be around, I suppose, but still surprised.
And he makes eye contact with you, and you see him mouth a couple of things to Maisie as he quickly walks away.
I look at Maisie and I go up to her and I kind of concerned. Is everything okay?
Walk with me, brother. As she kind of walks you away from the Iskandia encampment. Well, if there's someone who can't forgive you, it's Killian.
Right. I expected as much. Was he telling you something?
And she kind of looks down. But you and your friend should leave as soon as possible.
Well, he'll be happy to know that we're leaving tonight. But, since we were here, and I didn't know when we were going to be around next time, I thought maybe I could introduce you while we have the time to Uwasa. This is my partner. And I look at her and I'm like, kind of give her like eyes, like squinty eyes, like, girlfriend?
Girlfriend. Partner is also welcome. It is nice to finally meet you. I have heard much about you. And you can see Maisie kind of blushes and she looks at you too. And she stifles a giggle. So, Ersid, this is what you've been up to in exile. How long have you two been an item?
Gosh. You have to. Okay. I feel like Erson would know this, but like in game time, I don't know. Like, how long is it?
It's been.
Like a year? Like.
I don't even think it's been a year since since you guys have been like official.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's had to have been like 2-3 months, honestly. I think the courting lasted like a year or so, but the language barrier was a lot of the courting and not the officializing.
That's fair. You've only been official for a little bit.
Yeah, we've been, as you put, an item for 2-3 months, but we've known each other for probably almost 2 years now. Yeah.
Well.
She joined us on one of our first adventures. And
She just got caught up.
yeah.
Along for the ride.
Oh yeah, she accidentally got branch in the stream kind of.
But
Well,
she hasn't run away yet, so everything that's good. Haven't scared her off.
and she kind of smiles, Uwasa, and kicks you in the leg. I have dealt with much scarier than you, Ersid. And
good.
Maisie laughs. Well, Uwasa, it's good to meet you. I don't think we have enough time to actually get to know each other now, but either you're an idiot or you have a soft spot for some. Ersid, you treat her well. or else you'll have to answer to me and the wrath of your dead mother.
Yeah.
Because we both know we raised the gentleman now.
I like to think that worked.
And Iwasa
Sometimes
kind
I-
of shrugs.
Sometimes I can be aloof, but I think I try.
He does try. And Maisie smiles. Well then, brother. And she just gives you a big hug. A long hug. And as you release, she just kind of stares at you, tears in her eyes. She gives Iwasa a quick hug.
Ersid is probably crying as well now. If he sees her tearing up.
And Maisie punches you just in the chest, just a little one.
I want you to know that I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything. And I'll be better at keeping in contact with you. I've never been much for writing, but I should have, and I will. I wrote Lachlan a letter today. I told him I found you. I've seen you recently. Hopefully he gets back to me. And I'm not done chasing after him. So
And she kind of looks away, tears falling down her cheeks. The next time you come back, bring Lachlan with you. That's a face I long to see. And you better come back. I heard what you were talking about. We might be safe here. Might. But I know you won't be. So don't go dying just trying to get away from my final words.
no, I can't die until I've fulfilled this promise.
She smiles.
And I know there's others in the tribe. They may not ever forgive me. That's okay. I can live with that. But I want you to know that I'm trying I'm not gonna rest until I've righted this. And if that doesn't come with the approval of the tribe's elders, then be damned with that. But this is for you, and it's for Mum, and it's for me.
And it's for Lachlan.
Yeah, for Lachlan.
And she kind of turns around. Well, you best get going back to your friends now. I got things to take care of here. I love you, Ersid.
Love you.
And she walks away. As you kind of reconvene or kind of walking, Uwasa holds your hand and she holds it tight. Thank you.
No. Thank you.
And she kind of hops up, kisses you on the cheek as you guys make it back to the party. And feel free to talk just for a second. I have to find a charger.
All went well.
Okay.
Yeah, I come back to the group. It's like looking like satisfied, and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's all gonna be all right.
Hey, you have to make those amends, in case we all die.
Yeah. You never know.
Or in case we all live, you gotta make them.
Hey, either way. Prepare for the worst, but hope for the best.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I might fly up, get a lay of the land. We can leave whenever.
All right.
You can fly.
And she kind of pulls it like she's wearing a cloak, and it's dark blue, but it's kind of fuzzy. These become wings.
Nice.
So, I have a bit of flight.
How long does that last?
An hour.
And then how long do you have to wait?
A D12 hours.
Oh, so definitely at least once a day.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes more. Last time I rolled a 4, I gotta do it twice in one day. So, it's not like it doesn't hurt me to do it.
Yeah. You may as well do it now.
Yeah. I just wait for Aaron to plug the laptop in.
Yeah. Any word from Senkali?
Oh shoot, I didn't ask him.
Ask me what?
Pull out the book and I'll write, "Hey, Senkali, can you give me the details of the mission that you want me to go on?"
Hey, you up?
Hey, you up?
You up? And you see written,
Peach emoji.
just written, we will talk after the conference.
He says after the conference we'll talk. So I'm
All
going
right.
I'm going to fly, get a look at what is going on around here, and then
Over Phoenix Rest?
yeah, I'm gonna have her fly up like really far to just kind of get like a lay of the land and see if she can see anything that like sticks out.
Okay, it's probably midday. Roll perception or investigation, whichever you would prefer.
Come on, perception. I see nothing, dog. That's a 2.
Oof.
Unless someone wants to come with me, I can pick someone up.
I could come with you. That might be more beneficial.
I don't know. I feel like it's already done. You flew up. You rolled.
I mean, you could fly back down and pick someone up.
All right. All right.
Well,
Pick
this
up
is
Airsid.
all we need to succeed.
Yeah. I mean, she knows that she's not very perceptive, so
Okay. You pick up Airsid.
yeah. I look up. I'm like, I don't see shit.
This is like
Airsid.
when you have that empty solo cup at a party and you keep on drinking it just to have something to do.
Yeah.
I rolled a 24.
What are you looking for?
Yeah.
What are you looking for, Narissa?
I'm just trying to get a lay of the land, like see if we can see any of those weird black and white patches from the goblins or anything that seems strange that we didn't notice or that we can notice from being so high up.
Okay. With a 24, you notice plenty of black and white patches scattered across the valley. It seems like some of them are becoming quite fortified as they give off sort of like a negative aura. But the most interesting thing is you see a giant that is walking along the edge of the mountains, the Levendil Mountains, and they seem to be headed west.
West. west is.
Is towards
Towards-
yeah,
West.
Get
Yeah.
fallen stars.
towards Molitushu.
Yeah.
Molitushu would be the furthest west in Norfane, yes.
Okay.
Probably too far away to tell what kind of giant.
Too far away to tell what kind of giant.
Just know
But they are easy to see because they are a
a
giant.
giant.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
I'll fly back down.
Oh, nice.
Two
Nice
hours
little
until
drawing.
2 hours until I can fly again.
That's much close.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, maybe you should go tell someone about that, and then I'll just. Do you want to? Do you want to go right now, or do you want me to read and then
We
go?
can go
or
right
what are we
now,
doing?
and then you can read. I think that let's just get things going.
You guys are
Okay.
going to Jolt right now?
Yeah, to pick something up
I guess.
and then camp.
Yeah. So in passing, I'll just like find Trust or someone, and I guess tell them that we're leaving, and then also be like, hey, just so you know, I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's a. I mean, could I ascertain about how far the giant is? It's over on the mountains, right?
It's about right here. If you're looking at the map, so I'll pull this up for our supposed viewers, which it's not showing the right thing for some reason. Give me just a second. Ew. Okay, I won't pull it up for the viewers, but if you're looking at it, it's around here where it says stars. So they're at the base of the mountain.
Okay. Yeah, we can let them know about that.
Let them know.
Okay. And you kind of let them know, and they're like, they kind of take it in stride. They realize where it is on the map is, it's heading away from Phoenix Rest, but what it's doing, they have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, let's see, I'm reading the teleport spell right now just to make sure. Because, like, could you just grab, like, a stick?
I really think, like, what does it say? It doesn't sound like it has to be. Anything too.
Associated object means that you possess an object taken from the desired destination within the last 6 months.
A stick.
Such as a book from a wizard's library, bed linen from a royal suite, or a chunk of marble from a lich's secret tomb. So, I guess if a place has enough, any sort of significance whatsoever, outside of just being land, you should be fine. Okay.
And if you're teleporting us to your village.
No. That would get you killed. We're gonna teleport to the place that her and Isahu like lived for many years. That like split tongue waterfall.
Okay.
Yeah, let's teleport right into the middle of the Yuan Ti cult. That they would love that.
Okay. So the timepiece begins to whir as the hands make their way in different directions, spinning and spinning until all of you are caught up in the turbulence of time and find yourself popped onto a mysterious land. As you look out, you are on the top of a cliff, a waterfall rushing beside you, palm trees taller than pine trees, huge fruits everywhere, vines everywhere. You see all sorts of reptiles, snakes, iguanas, even, like turtles scampering around in the ground below, the soil is sort of moist. As you kind of see the foliage popping up everywhere you look. And as you look out, you can see beaches and isles below. As you can, Narissa, you assume that you're looking sort of southeast. And the trees kind of move. You hear what sounds like thunder as you look off, and there are these giant long-necked beasts swaying through the many jungles. You can see, if you're looking close enough, Airsid and Vincent, smaller, they look kind of like lizard folk, but less humanoid, as they rush through the trees, pouncing on giant lizards that seem to have rocks sticking out of their backs. You have found yourself in Cholt, a land unknown to everyone but Narissa.
Fuck.
All right,
Just-
get reading, buddy.
Home.
We're in the goddamn Cretaceous period.
What the hell is happening?
It's not changed much.
It smells like salt. It smells like citrus. It smells like, to Narissa, home.
Wow, you grew up here, huh?
I did. I spent many years out here alone with Isahu. She'll
Yeah,
kind of
this,
point to the waterfall. There's a cave behind this waterfall.
Is it it's a cave that like is carved to look like something?
It's a natural cave that we found. That's where we lived.
I guess we'll go into the cave.
Okay. And you pass by the curtain of water. Narissa, do you think you guys would have left any effects? What does this cave look like as you step in?
We step in and it's like, it's not very deep, but it's very like almost oddly circular. And I feel like the rocks are those strange rocks that are like hexagonal, as they kind of lead up into the back so you can sit on them like stairs. And there's obvious remnants of like, there's like an old fire pit and carvings and drawings on the wall of like people hunting or dinosaurs like fighting each other.
Is there any evidence of the tools used to paint on the wall?
Probably not, unless it was you and Isahu who
Yeah.
painted them.
It'd probably be her. I
She
don't think
make
Isahu
these.
would paint.
Okay. So you were the one who painted these. Okay. I would say there's probably, you'd be able to find what looks to be sticks covered in stick with like thicket, like brush that it has been dipped in the remnants of the myriads of berries and flower petals and things like that. Even there's a rock. It looks sort of like a geode that you have cracked open and filled with the pigments that you had made. It's all caked across the crystal with the makeshift brush next to it.
That. I'm taking that. Geode type thing.
Okay. You have acquired the geode. Insert Zelda noise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll give you back your timepiece.
All right, great. Well, this seems like a perfect place to pitch camp. Wow, natural, shelter.
Yeah, we got lucky. Find a place like this.
All right, well, I'm gonna pitch my tent raid.
Okay. Anything you guys are trying to do for the rest of the day?
I'm gonna go out and gather flowers and feathers.
Roll survival.
Please roll better than you have been. $13.
You're able to find some of the more basic flowers, the lotuses, the lilies, the occasional feather of a blue jay and maybe even a falcon, but any of the rarer creatures that find themselves in home and Cholt, you're not finding any remnants of them or the flora.
I'm gonna try and like get one of the flowers. It's okay if it's like a common one, but like dig it out.
Sure.
So that I can like keep it in like a sack or something so I can plant it later.
Roll survival with Dex.
It's somehow better. 14.
14. Okay, only one better.
Yeah, but I rolled worse.
How could you roll worse and get better?
Because my dex is higher than my wisdom.
Is it? Huh, okay. You're able to get a decent amount of dirt, and able to store it in a way that maybe you'd be able to take it back home and put it in a planter or a vase or something like that. How does it feel to be back home, Narissa?
Weird. I think she's like thinking back on everything that happened here and how strange it is and how like distant that feels from her now. How it's almost like looking back on someone else's memories that were given to her because it's just been so long and so many things have happened since then that there's a strange like disconnect there, but it also feels very familiar and very much like home. So there's a comfort in it, even if all of the things that happened here weren't necessarily like great.
Okay. And in that solace, you feel almost a warmth inside of you. So obviously something that doesn't belong to you. An emotion outside and inside of you, akin to your soul. And in that warmth, you feel remorse. You feel as if whatever it is that is channeling itself through you is crying.
She'll dab tears.
Anything else?
She's just gonna walk around that little area and just kind of like be really in like a reverie of her memories.
Okay. And you know, you spend your time doing that. Vincent, is there anything you're trying to do, or are you just trying to kick it and not get too crazy in this place?
I am drawn to these paintings on the wall. I put my little, still covered in paint hand up onto the wall. I want to look at these pictures and see if I can pick up something new about Narissa and Isahu's relationship. Maybe a story about Isahu that we could use to relate to him in the future if we ever run into him.
Roll insight.
30.
God damn.
Narissa, what does Vincent glean from these cave paintings that you've created?
The paintings are very, like, you can tell that she put a lot of effort into them, but they're pretty rudimentary. She's not like the best artist, and she was also, you can guess, probably really young or pretty young when she made these. And so they kind of give you this idea of like a child who needed to escape what was happening at the moment. And her relationship with Isahu is extremely complex. Almost like respecting and caring about someone so much, despite the hardships that he put her through. Because all they did was fight. And usually he won.
as you spend the night with all these differing emotions, Ercid, you focusing on, your book, which you got one more day to finish up. Nice. You feel a sense of peace and paradise here. And a question lingers, which is, how could a place so wonderful be home to a feeling so terrible and shared by a whole continent? A place so beautiful that causes fear in the hearts of anyone who is not born in Cholt. Anything else you guys want to do for the night?
I'm gonna catch a small dinosaur and cook it.
Okay. And you guys have some cooked raptor for the night.
How many hours of my
Like
book did I
chicken.
get?
Yeah,
As many as you wanted. We'll say that you got there around 4.
Okay. Well, I could probably do. I just want to get this book over with, and honestly, so like 8.
8 more
8.
on top of the 5
Yeah.
from earlier, so 13 from today.
Yeah.
So that would
So
be.
I'm at 45 now.
So you only need 3 more hours?
nice.
Yeah, so then I'm just going to read until 3 in the morning
Okay.
and then go into a trance and then be done.
You are gifted the benefits of the Tome of Understanding. You feel like the world around you makes just a little bit more sense, that you can connect much easier than you could before, kind of living through the many stories and parables that have been pushed through this tome that you have finally completed. Congratulations.
I feel
Nice.
like it's like 4 in the morning and we're all asleep, and then we just hear Erson like screaming in joy.
Yes.
Eureka! I've done it! I've achieved enlightenment!
He disappears, now a god of the plane.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Narissa, as you sleep, you have a dream. A strange one. You're in your village? You're not sure. As you kind of sift around and get ready for the day, you go out hunting. And you find a human. Perfect specimen to come back and be initiated into perfection. But something nags at you. And you sort of count on your hands that you realize belong to a man. And you've done this too often. And that this one should be left to live the life of their choosing. A thought you've never had before. As you look back through the jungle towards your village, towards your people, that same feeling of sadness that you felt earlier crashes over you. You take another look back towards the person replaced only by the coast, the sound of waves lapping against the shore. And you realize this is not where you belong. And you wake up.
Been a while since I had a weird dream.
Anything? Are you guys trying to stay on Cholt? Are you guys going to Weisgard? Where are you guys going today?
I think we're going to Weisgard.
Okay. What are you guys doing in Weisgard over the next?
Oh,
4
I guess
days?
we'll just say that in the morning, Narissa gives me back the timepiece. I take an hour to attune with it, and then we go.
Right.
Okay.
So
Just
you
so
have
we know that I have the timepiece now.
understood. And so in Weisgard, what are you trying to do there? For the next 3 days, you just trying to relax? You trying to
I guess we're trying to find Riley. and figure out where he is.
We're walking up to every person that
investigation.
we see and asking them if they have a backstory.
What's your
Do
story,
you have a
guy?
Do you have a backstory? Everyone's just like, I don't know what you mean. What are you talking about?
Okay, what are you guys really trying to do?
I want to try and heal my arm, so I'm gonna see if there's a healer in Weisgard who can help me.
I mean, I want those magic arrows, but they're so goddamn expensive. You know, we really got to start charging for our work again.
Yeah,
We've been doing things out of the goodness of our heart for too long.
Okay, are you trying to find like some odd jobs, or is there anything that you're gonna do, Airsid? I know, Vincent, you're trying to see if you can get your arm fixed.
Yeah, you know what? If there's like a mission that somebody wants me to do and I can do it in like a day, or just like work for like, I don't know, how much gold do I have? I have 40 gold pieces. I don't know, like 100 gold. I don't know.
You wouldn't be able to find a
seems-
job like that unless it's like a big one. So I'll have you roll investigation.
Poor.
You could deliver these pizzas. They have to get there by 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wow, I rolled an 18.
In 18, you find a woman who suspects that her husband is cheating on her, and she would like someone to find evidence, and she is willing to pay top dollar.
Private investigator Airsid.
Ooh.
And I like kind of chuckle to myself, and I'm like, really, this is a job for Vincent, but I'll take it.
Okay. Roll stealth, roll investigation.
And I kind of say to her before I accept, I'm just like, are you sure this is what you want to do? I mean, it seems like it's only gonna bring you pain.
It will bring me truth. That is what is most important.
All right, I respect it. What did you say? Stealth?
Stealth and investigation.
Okay, so that's 27 for stealth
Okay.
and 16 for investigation.
Okay, we'll go over that later. Vincent, with all of your efforts, you have come to realize that the only person who might be strong enough in Weisgard to repair your arm is Mother Seraphine herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just say, "Hey, would you?" And I'll be like, "You know what? If we win this war for them, she might."
Or you could be like, you know, if you want my help, which to do this, it would behoove you to fix my arm first, please.
Yeah, I'm just gonna march my tight little dwarf ass up there. and ask
Not
her to
tight.
fix
She
my
might
arm.
do it if you have the component for it.
He wouldn't have any components. It's not like
I
that
don't-
kind of spell. Roll persuasion.
Okay. I'm gonna spend a superiority dice.
Okay.
So that gets me 19 plus 3 is 22.
Fine, dwarf. If you think that having your arm restored will allow us to win the war, this is something I am willing to do. But understand you are now answering to Weisgard. Going forward, Arthea does not bestow her grace so lightly.
Working for the man. Yikes.
Look, we all listen to 9 Inch Nails, but we work for the man. That's our vibe.
Well, I put in, I did my time. I will smile and nod and say, yes, thank you.
Roll deception? Roll persuasion?
Deception.
Okay.
16.
She frowns. You will only receive this because of what you have already done for our kingdom. There will be no more favors. As she takes some time, she drenches what seems to be holy water over your arm, and she speaks into a prayer wheel. And as it begins to spin, you can feel the bones in your arm sort of reconstructing themselves. And after about a minute, it feels as though things are starting to begin. She claps her hands, the prayer wheel stops, and she walks away. Stay off for roughly an hour. You will gain use once again.
Thank you.
She wades into the throne room silently.
As her back is turned, the newfound arm is just like muttering under his breath. And then he slips out of there.
Nice. Narissa, anything you're trying to do? Just hang out with Sallow?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that plant that I unrooted to him.
And he smiles, and he kind of finds a vase for it. And he speaks, which you can only assume is giant, and it already seems like it is growing. You start to see more stems and leaves pull up, and buds begin. And he kisses you and gives you a big thanks, as this is not something he would normally have in his collection of plants.
What I figured.
Ersa, you find the man in the act.
In the middle.
How do you bring evidence, or what do you do?
I'm like stealthily find him in the act.
Yes,
like
so he doesn't find you, you find him.
Okay.
He's with a fire genasi woman.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh god.
The fire genasi that the party knows?
No.
Oh. Damn it.
You all know each other, right?
And we know everybody.
Evidence.
Not so easy, is it, Ersa?
I don't know. I'm going
You should
to.
have brought someone specifically along with you, shouldn't you have?
Okay, no, I got it. Okay, they're having hanky spank,
Yep.
like on the bed.
Yep. On the
Okay.
floor, in the bathroom.
No, it wasn't me.
While they're preoccupied, I'm going to take all of their clothes.
Nice.
That's pretty funny.
Okay. All right.
Her clothes and his clothes, and I'm gonna take the clothes. I'm gonna take them back to my. Who's the person that tasks you with
Your client.
my client? Yeah.
And you can see she's crying, not out of sadness, but out of anger. She knows who this woman is.
She's like,
Oh,
I fucking
no.
knew it was this bitch.
Said he told me never to worry about her.
My own sister.
Yes, actually.
That's so
Oh,
much
no.
worse.
Oh God. Yeah.
It's a joke.
She gives you $100, and she stomps her disappointed human ass down the road to find her unfaithful, hopefully soon to be ex-husband.
Or she pulls a
Boy.
Chicago and she kills them both, and then she's like, I don't
Next
even
time.
remember what happened.
Next time on Real Housewives of Weisgard.
Yeah, I would watch the shit out of Real Housewives of Weisgard.
I guess I shake my head and I'm just like, So it goes.
So it goes.
Find yourself some cash. The days go by. Narissa, you get a message from Rosa. Giants Rest, the 4th. See you there.
The 4th, the day before. Oh my god. My god.
The day comes around. You find yourself in the Giants Rest, and there are 3 just women hanging out, but one of them is staring at you. And are you guys all here or just Narissa?
I mean, I would have told.
depends on
I
if
would
she
have told
tells us.
them, but I think I would be like, maybe you wait, just in case, because she did just let me know. But
Can't
Where-
I
let.
guess that's
Where are you
fair.
meeting?
I would tell you guys. I wouldn't like not. So
Where are you meeting?
tragedy.
Tragedy.
Oh, cool.
So I would tell you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to be there.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, it also comes, and you all sit at the table. There's one girl. She looks like a halfling. Her hair is very long and blonde, quite pristine against her darker skin. There's another, who just seems to be kind of apathetic about everything as they stare off and into a bar. Their hair is short and gray, kind of wisping up, sort of kind of like snow. Their eyes are blue. They wear a sort of bandana over their face, and their clothes are just traditional Weiss Guardian garb. And there's a woman, the one who's been staring at you so intensely. Her hair is black and long, falling in front of her face. Her eyes are red. Her nails are red. Very goth in nature. Extremely pristine, luxurious dress. So, tragedy speaks from this woman. You claim to tell me that my master killed Cain.
This is true. I saw it with my own eyes. I can zone of truth myself if you want me to show you proof.
Yes.
And she just kind of sucks her teeth, takes a sip of her wine. Good. If he was weak enough to die, then so be it. Why tell me? What do you want?
I just wanted to let you know that's not the extent of what I want, but I know he was important to you. Whether he hurt you or not, and whether he hurts you now by dying, again, is not something you have to tell me.
I didn't ask for a therapy session. I asked you what you want.
Very well. What we want is your help. You are the best, most prolific disguiser. I don't know what the word. Yeah, sleuth. I don't
Sleuth,
know.
assassin.
Assassin. I don't know what she is.
Thief.
She says a bunch of words that I know. You are hard to track down, even harder to catch. And you know of what is happening with Arid right now.
Get to the point.
We want to assassinate the Piranist.
That's all.
If you think it's so
Yeah.
easy.
You accompanied with me. Maybe if you have anyone else in mind who would be up to the task, we get in, We are planning on orchestrating multiple diversions of Erid's focus while we can slip in on the eastern foothills of the mountain banks that they sit against. We get in, we kill them. We can't offer you any money. We don't personally have any form
Yeah.
of payment.
We're literally
But-
broke.
I can assure you that if we sneak up on him in his chambers or whatever, and we kill him, I mean, the spoils are yours if you want. If he has anything valuable in his chambers.
So you offer me the treasures of Arid. Great. So much there that I'll need.
Is there anything that you want?
Not anymore.
But you want change.
And we've already put that into action. A secret for a secret. This is all our fault. She smiles. And things are going very well.
So you want Erid to take over Burnwell and the rest of the continent?
No. We want them out of their fortress. Do you really think that after killing the Pyranus son, that any form of security has not been elevated to its maximum capacity? Getting into Arid again might be near impossible. But getting them out, that is the art here.
Then are we not of the same mind?
We are. It seems you are learning.
We have to adapt.
Continue to do so. If you really think an assassination attempt on Cyrus Badon will work, be my guest. If you find a better idea, let me know. Not against killing him. He will die. I don't care in whose hands.
As long as we continue to pull Arid soldiers out of Arid, can you not do it? If we can get you that opening,
That was the intention behind the diversion.
Don't you see? They've been diverted. They're crawling out of their fortress like ants. They continue to exit and exit. And I have a feeling if the absent is who she says she is, if her brain works the way I think it does, the Pyranus will make an appearance.
Where?
On the battlefield.
so you want us to pull him out and engage him then?
If you think you can do it, I'd be more than happy to help.
I don't see what other option we have.
No, neither do I.
Is there... Have you been in Arid before? You make it sound like you have.
I didn't tell you.
You didn't talk about it.
Why do you think this is all happening?
What do you know about them? What have you seen while you were in there?
I don't know. It's as if everyone in Arid has been living so comfortably. Their army continues to grow. They treat their women more like incubators than people. Some of them get to live their lives, the others are only meant to make more soldiers. I think they've made enough. They constantly train, at least inside the walls. The few fortresses that live outside are more relatable. But if you live inside the walls of Arid, you're made to be a murderer.
I was too. But the difference between humans and Yuan-Ti is that humans get cocky. Yuan-Ti don't. They will pull out, scurry back, hide. I bet Arid thinks they have a hold on things. Why would they not?
If you think Arid is anything like the humans of Norfain, you'd be mistaken. How much closer to Yuan-Ti they are, soulless creatures. They were born for this war. This is what every single step taken by the Pyranist has been made for. We were lucky enough to stir them into action. Let's just hope it was early enough.
So what would you have us do, since you seem to be much more knowledgeable on what's going on than us?
It sounds like you have a conference coming up. Once you know what you will be doing, we can talk again. However, I do think assassination, you only see lightning strike once. The storm has passed. You will be forced to fight him out in the open. I can't imagine the Pyranist is someone so nonchalant to let his son's death go without his answer.
Then maybe he will join him.
Or maybe everyone else will. The Absent seems to have faith in the realm. But she's even told me that she's not perfect. And due to her failure at Molitushu, I start to believe that more and more.
Can I know your enemy on Tragedy?
What would you like to know?
I want to know if levels are higher than 13 and if Constitution is higher than 12.
Equal and equal.
Interesting. Okay. I also, when she talks about the Amson, I want to try and intuit if there's ambition there. Like, does she want to take over for the Absent? Is that something that I can try and figure out?
Go ahead and roll insight.
24.
You feel not an ambition, but a confusion behind their loyalty. So,
I want to stick my hand out and be like, looks like we'll be partners once again.
she
Kind of smile, Riley.
kind of
Right.
smiles. What did you say?
Not Riley. I said kind of. I kind of
Smiles
smile,
Riley.
WR.
Yeah.
And she kind of emits the same emotion. She doesn't reach back. We'll see about that. Just know everything has gone according to plan so far. So if it continues, partners we will be. And she gets up. Her compatriots do as well as they exit the tavern.
Tentative alliance. But it's the most information we've gotten in months. So
She's left.
Yes.
Okay. She doesn't seem to think that an assassin mission would go well, but I'm still confused. She thinks that the Pyranist will make an appearance?
she said he will come out on the battlefield and join his troops. I don't know anything about Arid. I don't know about their way of thinking. If the Pyranist is angry about his son's assassination, and they have been feeding them whispers to believe that it is because of Burnwell or because of these other kingdoms, then why would he not come out?
Do we want that to happen, or do we want to assassinate him when he's asleep or something like that?
I will meet him on the field if he comes. I do not care.
There's got to be a way that you can get in and sabotage them somehow, right? Like the whole plan. I mean, we don't have to be. What's the word? Like tunnel visioned on this idea. But the whole purpose was, if we're launching an attack, you see, at least in my mind, I didn't know if this is what you guys were thinking. The whole purpose of the attack is not necessarily that we think that we can beat Arid in all-out warfare. We know that they've got the best army, and we know that they've got a lot of manpower. That's the reason why we're looking for all of these people to join our alliance. But I don't think that the plan was ever that, oh, we know that we can beat them in open combat, like on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Maybe we can, maybe we can't, but that's not the risk that we wanted to take. What we wanted to do was to get them to come out and go in and assassinate their leader, which will leave them politically, there'll be a political vacuum which will leave them vulnerable for potentially later, right? Nerissa, Vincent, did you guys think, because you agree that the plan was not to beat them on that day, right?
Yeah,
So
it's just that Tragedy was saying that, like, they are leading them out, and we can still do the whole, like, lead them out, lead them to different, like, parts and, like, sections, and pull them kind of, like, thin.
right.
Because you're right, like, we would want to focus on the Pyranist, but if you think about it, you know, we have soldiers, we have allies, we have other people, and then we can go find the Pyranist and fight him. That's kind of like what we're for.
I wonder
Whether he comes out or you go to him or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if. So we need to draw Arid's army out of their anti-magic field, out of their well-defended walls. If we assassinate the Purinist first, would they lead a charge outside without a leader? But then that leads me to think, what if tragedy, if they can disguise themselves? What if they disguise themselves as the Purinist and then send the orders from there?
It's not impossible,
That-
but hard.
That seems difficult, but very like
She
high,
seems little.
high risk, high reward.
Yeah, what if the Pyranist is like 9 feet tall or something? I don't know what he looks like. Or he could be like a weird little shriveled man. I have no idea. My guess is he's 9 feet tall. He looks like a big Dragon Ball Z character. He's all bald and gross.
I think, yeah, I'm thinking of those two Majin fighters from the World Cup.
I thought
Sepulvovich or
Not
something.
Nappa.
right?
He looks like Nappa. He's 9 feet tall. He's 500 pounds. He only wears Speedo. I'm terrified
Yeah.
to see him on the battlefield.
Nappa or Raccoon?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
raccoon. Not raccoon. I'm just gonna go ahead and say not raccoon.
He's all oiled up, but not in like a fun way. Oiled up in like oil.
The size of Raccoon. 'Cause Raccoon is a
The
big
size of
one.
raccoon, maybe, sure. I won't confirm or deny that. I thought you were saying he looked like raccoon. I'll let him look like Nappa. I ain't gonna let him look like raccoon.
He's got a very thin pencil mustache. It's the only hair on his body.
Okay. This leads me to think, like, I think it is imperative that we have long-range martial artillery weapons. Because when you have that, if you have a trebuchet type of artillery, we can fucking, smash down their walls from 1,000 feet out.
Yeah, but you know they're made of adamantine.
Yeah.
And then she'll kind of like smack the armor. It's not gonna work like that. Not saying that
Right.
we don't want long-range weapons. It's just not going to break their walls down.
I mean, adamantine is not invulnerable.
Almost.
But throwing wood and steel at it, I don't know.
You would need like adamantine to damage the adamantine. It's like the hardest metal in the known world. If you hit something with an adamantine knife, it immediately crits, like on a table or like on an object. It's an immediate critical.
But like for your armor that you wear,
Yeah. It negates crits entirely. And if it was made into like a blade, anything I hit with it that's not a person is an immediate crit.
So I think we need to draw them out still.
Yeah.
Plus, we asked Phoenix Rest. They didn't want to help build anything
Let's just
like that for us.
see what Weisgard has, because Weisgard, of course, has stuff. Let's talk with them. We can't really
Yeah.
do any more planning until we've spoken with them.
okay.
Is that the end of conversation for the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Where are you, Riley?
Who knows,
Not
man?
involved.
He really just came to watch from the inside today.
Thought you guys were gonna go back to Burnwell, so I don't fucking know.
So you're in Burnwell? It's just level 1 Kane again, somehow.
You guys used the timepiece too much and got sent back in time to the beginning of the campaign.
Oh no.
It's Kane, but it's spelled with a C.
And like The eyes are flipped. The eye color.
Oh man, it's
His
actually
hair's blonde. He doesn't have any tattoos.
whoa.
Your mom's still alive.
Mom's alive.
Dad's alive. Really, he's just a happy guy.
Dad's alive. Girlfriend's not a undead bitch who abandoned him.
Ooh. All right.
Not that Kane feels that way. He's dead.
Yeah.
We're here. You are greeted by the Queen's Guard. Sallow comes to escort you all specifically to the Othian Palace, as you are kind of carried around by these guards all up in their silver helms and plate armor. You make your way through the city. People take note, people watch, and you see Sallow's hair is actually like tied up, and he has silver paint on his body. Very rigid, very brutalist. This is a serious thing for him. He wears sort of like a skirt instead of just like the loincloth kind of thing, made out of adamantine. As he steps you in to the Othian Palace, it is silent. As you look above you, there's sort of what is that called? When you go to the opera and there's the guys who sit above the crowd.
Oh, boxes?
Yeah, but they have a
balcony.
coolness. We'll say a balcony.
Mezzanine.
A mezzanine, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. Where Queen and Mother Seraphim sits, a crystalline veil placed above her face, silhouetting her body and all her figures beneath. The rest of the Etir sit on either side, 3 on each. Sallow takes his place, and you are given seats in the lower level. Mother Seraphine stands up as her voice softly but clearly echoes throughout the whole palace. A small vibration can be felt with every word. Here today, we come together as Weisgard, and the doors open and King Iltar walks in wearing the same opulent outfit during the speech he gave in Burnwell, and finds himself a seat near you all. And Burnwell attempt to come together. There is much that will be spoken of on this day. The matters of Arid. No, the matter of Norfain as a whole is the crux of this conference. I will now invite in Waipo of the Manu Academy of the Great Empire of Molitushu. And as the door opens, you see a few elves all dressed in blue and silver carrying a palanquin where Waipo sits, the light sort of reflecting off of him, making him look like a holy figure as he is brought to the center of the circle where the throne usually is. And he bows his head in reverence of Mother Seraphine. Waipo, on the upcoming war with Arid that we so fear, we have requested the aid of Molitushu and the Inhun, their silver souls. The only thing that stands between us and an alliance is the dissolution of the Accord of Chained Wings. And you kind of hear murmurs within the Etir, kind of just, some of them are upset, some of them are silent. As this is mentioned, Desiree, you pointedly see is upset. And Waipo still bowed. Indeed. The Accord of Chained Wings is what stops Molitushu from being a world power. We have relied on the dragons and the wyverns since the Dragkrieg, and the giants and their victory have left us weaker. We hold no ill will towards Weisgard, towards the giants, and we promise we will not use them in the future if a war is to break out between the elves and the humans. Personally, I would like to see our alliance grow in a new world where giants, dragons, elves, humans, where all of us can find love and community with one another.
Harrison starts clapping.
Here, here.
You hear Desiree say, "No, I am not the one who makes the decisions here. But if you let your winged beasts fly without reason, it simply invites another Dragkrieg. It is long before we speak again with the giants, and they have warned us many a time that if the dragons, or even their ill-begotten kin, are let loose in the skies again, they are nothing more than a threat."
But they are not being let loose. This is a sanctioned time for something like this to be allowed.
And Mother Seraphine holds up her hand. Waipo, what trust, what promise can you give us as a kingdom that you, Molitushu, the Wyverns, will not be a threat in the upcoming days after whatever happens with Arid? And Waipo finally looks up, and he smiles. I fear that I am not the individual who should be delivering such a message. So, and the guards let him down and they start heading back. With your permission, I have a special guest who would like to speak upon the future of Molitushu and some of Elbrun. They go by the name of Nanori.
Nonary.
Mallory,
Nonary.
the little academic guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but remember, he lied to us. He pretended to be incompetent.
And she sort of nods, and the guards go back along with the Queen's Guard and open the door. And you see Nonary in his same fashion blue cloak buttoned up all the way to his throat. His hair now short and sort of coiffed around his head, slick. His green eyes glowing sort of a dark blue in the scleras as he steps up. Following him, Riley, could you describe your character?
Yeah. You see, it's hard to say whether it's male or female, but a figure clad in mithril armor from head to toe, a helm that is sort of motorcycle helmet shaped. It's sleek, At the top comes a lavender and silver wisping mane and a antler motif. The armor is a very dark purple, midnight purple pearlescent with sort of a orangish hue to it. And there's an amulet hanging from his hip. Very Goblin Slayer mixed with Shadowheart's armor.
Okay. I like that.
That's
Damn.
what you see.
And the two step up to the center as Waipo bows to Nonary, and Nonary goes like full 90-degree angle as Waipo kind of lifts his head and steps off to the side. And Nonary kind of looks around and he sees you all. And for a second, he doesn't recognize you, but then he
Yeah, we look
realizes,
pretty
and you see a big smile on his face, and it seems as if a weight has been lifted off of his shoulders. And he looks to the queen. Queen, Mother Seraphine of Weisgard, I am Nonary of the Umbral Choir. I know you have probably heard much of our activities and may not be aware of exactly what it is we do. And I will assure you now that things will not be much clearer after this conference.
That's everything.
But understand that we are not an enemy. But I would like to illuminate the insurance that we provide as a syndicate and as a people. And Mother Seraphim just kind of nods, like, go on. This party here, who I now understand is going by the name of Kairos, aided me in our investigation of the so-called Eldritch Storm over Ilhaid, the old Dragonborn capital. Long story short, we found ourselves in what I have deemed the Umbral Mirror. Citizens there have confirmed to me that it is called the Shadow Fell, a plane that mirrors ours in a sort of dark and twisted fashion. I spent much time there investigating for our true goal and objective. You know, if you will, and some of the guards that we're carrying over Waipo come, and they have a scroll that they both grab one side of, and they step away from each other, revealing a great schematic of what seems to be a ship. The idea of planes has always existed. Where do the gods sit if not with us? Where were they banished to after the sundering? We may never get there, but understanding that there are levels of the universe that can be accessed and that exist in parallel and in disjunction from what I have deemed the material plane has led us to believe that this is not where we have to be. We understand that maybe some of our culture and our actions have not been welcomed under the great rule of Weisgard and the other human kingdoms. So in my research, I have devised a vehicle that will allow us as a people to traverse the plains, and unlike Evermeet, instead of bringing something here, we will leave forever. And so with that, I would like to introduce this schematic of what I call a spell jammer. It will take us away, and you will not have to worry about our culture or the dragons after, as long as you are able to sort of, how do I say, fund this project. We will help with the eradication of Arid. But precious minerals, time, and manpower is needed to develop enough of these to alleviate a whole kingdom from this plane. So we may be asking you for more than just the dissolution of the Accord. However, it would, I hope, ease your worries and paranoia of dragons and their kin being re-released upon the planet. And Tongaroa kind of speaks. Well, if they're gone, easy enough for me. Then we only have to deal with other people like us. And Desiree kind of nods, and Sallow's just kind of thinking, trying to grasp this whole situation. And Mother Seraphine looks down. So, you will not abandon us before the war is won. Nonnery nods, so does Waipo. Will all of you be leaving? The elves that choose to stay may stay. And those who choose to venture with us into the unknown may, regardless of background. Mother Seraphine kind of nods and takes a second, and she bends over where you finally kind of see out of the shadows Madeline make an appearance as they kind of talk. And she says, with the promise of the absence of wyverns, we would like access to all information provided on this spell jammer. If we find that this is a viable opportunity, upon victory, we will have a follow-up. And we can speak on the specifics of this project. And Nonnery smiles. It's a really big smile. Thank you, Queen and Mother Seraphine. And now I will take leave from the stage and allow my guest here to divulge their concerns. An emissary from the Feywild. Their name is Valen. And I met them and became good friends in my travels throughout many planes. And it seems they have, well, I will let them speak for themselves as he turns back to you, Valen, and gives you the stage.
There are many happenings that have disturbed the Feywild due to dragons and goblins coming to your prime material plane. The goddess is unpleased with this. Something needs to be done. I would aid in this war in exchange for your help with returning the Feywild to natural balance.
Valen, you said your name was?
Correct.
Goblins, fairy tales, now walking amongst us, the monochromatic scourge, some have come to call them. How is that affecting the Feywild, per se?
Well, as above, so below. An unnatural order the natural order has been disrupted in the Feywild. Though I do not know how it has happened. Perhaps these dragons, these zealots wandering around in white robes.
Narissa's like just shitting it.
Isn't the speaker and Tuhanul here, or are they not here yet?
You haven't seen them.
I hear you.
Okay.
My
So-
plane is changing, dying. It is upset.
And so you claim if we can aid with the goblins and the dragons, you aid with the war. Tell us, what do you expect from our people, if anything? And why should we care about what happens so far away from us?
Again, I say, as above, so below. If one plane is destroyed, what do you think will happen to you in your precious silver castle?
You threaten our people.
You watch how you talk to Mother Seraphine.
You fiend.
I do not
Yeah,
threaten
fuck
your
her up.
people. I threaten the collapse of all people, including my own.
Roll persuasion, please.
Narissa's like, yeah, who would do that? Who would do such a thing as disrupt the order of
11.
11. And you claim these goblins are evidence of such collapse.
It seems to be.
And what do you expect? Their return to another plane? And Desiree speaks up. And you speak of a god, a goddess. There is only one, the Mother Arthia. What makes you think that your deity has any say of what happens here on our plane?
Where your goddess shows you light, my goddess shows darkness. She is the queen of such. Without one, there cannot be another. You are either misunderstanding what I am saying, or you are unwise.
Jeez.
And Desiree speaks up again. You talk in circles, fairy. And so, what is your plan with the goblins? Tell us that, and then maybe we will dare to consider your words.
I will bathe the goblins in holy fire and remove them from this plane.
Real.
And Mother Seraphine speaks. And that will restore balance, you think?
It will aid.
Roll persuasion.
$17.
Then we will expect your aid. You show us this power that you carry, bestowed upon yourself by this goddess of darkness you speak of. You aid in our war and protect the people of this silver castle. And we may be able to spare our survivors in a true crusade. against the evils of our planet. And Ericid and Vincent, you both kind of notice that Madeline, now that she's shown herself, is kind of upset about that last statement. Even some of the rest of the ATR, specifically Desiree and Tongaroa. Will that be all, Valen?
That is all.
Then please, take a seat. Do you sit like alone? Do you sit by Nanarine White Poe? Do you sit by the party? Where do you go?
Is there any place to stand?
Yeah, plenty. You could stand anywhere.
I will just stand away from the whole crowd of people.
Okay. You kind of make a place of solitude within this sort of conference room. And Mother Seraphine speaks again. And on this note, much is to be spoken of, and we have an emissary from Arid.
We all eyes huge. Holy
Man,
shit.
lots of reveals.
Yeah.
today.
All right.
All right. Emissary of Arid.
And the Queen's Guard go to the door and they come back, and there's a man in black adamantine armor, bald, their eyes sort of vacant, chained with their hands behind their back, walk to the center of the throne room. Soldier of Arid, you claim a missive in peace, whatever that means to your people who now occupy Burnwell. With violence, with force. What message could you bring to Weisgard that is worth listening to? And this individual looks around and finally makes eye contact with Mother Seraphine after making eye contact with every single other person in the room. Pyranus Badon has asked that you join the cavalcade of humanity. You have 1 month to agree. Burnwell already stands inside the cavalcade, agreed on by its queen, Lucia Denise. 2 kingdoms out of 3. You have 2 choices. Join us in the protection of the realm, or perish. And you see Desiree reach for her sword. Tongaroa does as well, his mace. Even Sallow starts to crack his knuckles.
We're gonna beat this guy's ass.
How dare you, Sallow speaks, come into our holy place and threaten violence. Give us one reason not to kill you right now where you stand. And with no emotion on their face, the Arid soldier speaks again. If I die, war begins. And Arid will move on Weisgard, with no time for you all to prepare. We are close. We are everywhere. And I suggest you think wisely about the future. Dragons are returning. A poor sign. The Pyranist has taken it upon himself to eradicate all magic so as not to lose any more of our people. And when he says our, he means Norfain as a whole. Desiree speaks up. You mean humans? Again, the arid soldier ignores her and looks back at the mother.
And only your kind.
No answer.
Is there
Mother's-
somewhere that the Pyrenees would like to meet, and perhaps we can chat about terms and negotiations?
These are our terms and negotiations. You have 1 month to cede control of Weisgard to Arid, or fight for your lives.
As I'm talking to him, I'm going to approach him and be like,
And the guards kind of
certainly."
like stop you. And Mother Seraphine, Acid, please take a seat.
Just was talking to him. Wasn't gonna do anything. All right. I go back. I go back to my thing.
And the arid soldier looks at you specifically. Would you like to finish our conversation?
Sure, if you want to stay afterwards.
If you have nothing to say here, then you have nothing to say.
All right. That's okay.
Then he
God.
looks.
He is not the type of person you can convince of anything. He is already well convinced.
Shh.
This is an
know.
ultimatum.
No, You guys don't know what I'm trying to do. It's okay.
And he
What
looks.
are you trying to do?
What I am trying to do, what I would like to do, is I wanted to get up to him and pickpocket something off of him. And I would like to, if I can't do that here, like follow him as he exits. Like when he leaves this place. And steal something from him. Because then you can scry on him.
As long as he's not
Okay.
in the anti-magic field.
Yeah.
Back to the bubble.
I suppose that's true, but if he's an emissary and Arid is doing a lot of military operations that are outside of their place.
Yeah.
It's true. It's a good idea. We'll have
It
to
is a
see if
good
you can
idea.
get away with it.
Okay.
And again, he speaks to Mother Seraphine. I have said what I need to say. Again, Pyrenees Badon provides you the month of the Piscean moon. If you do not send missive within that time, that Weisgard now belongs to Arid and the cavalcade of humanity. It will be taken from you. And Mother Seraphine kind of has to hold up her hands. As you can see, the Eds here are getting very upset. Silence. Queensguard, please escort this emissary to our dungeon. We will decide after this matter how to approach. And they carry him out. So, Burnwell is occupied. The cavalcade of humanity, as they call it, is Arid's reaction to the return of dragons. We now deal with goblins, which I'm sure aggravates them as well. We are but one kingdom, but with many allies in Molitushu. Now I will give the room to Kairos. Tell us what you have found in your travels, your understanding of the situation, so we can best come to an agreement. And before this happens, I also have to use the restroom.
Okay, what do we want to say? What are the things that we want to hit on? We learned about, I think what tragedy told us is the most important thing that we learned.
That the Puranists will fight on the battlefield? Or what do you
Just that the Oblivion's March is like planning this, or planned this, or this is all because they sowed these seeds and they've been trying to get rid of Arid, and so far it's like part of their plan. So like we're on the inside of that, and we know that. We have talked to the Zephyrs, and they're willing to assist us, as well as, should we just tell them everyone we've been talking to? I mean, we might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to reveal the Oblivion's March right now? Or will that be a whole other deal?
It's all the same deal, I think.
Okay.
Because if we can
Yeah.
just tell them everyone we've been like kind of getting into contact with, then, you know, get it all out on the floor now.
Okay.
Speak or forever hold your peace.
We have learned something very recently about Arid. Or rather, why they are doing what they are doing. We have been in contact with members from Oblivion's March, ones that answer directly to their leader, the Absent. They are responsible for the assassination on the Pyranist son. And they are responsible for Arid's march on Burnwell.
Gasp.
They wish to eradicate Arid. And so they are attempting to draw them out of their stronghold. According to the emissary we spoke to, everything is going according to plan. They believe that the Pyranist will make an appearance on the battlefield to avenge his son and to show the might of Arid and their soldiers, which are born for battle.
And they all kind of think, and Desiree, and why are you in contact with criminals?
Because to know what is really going on this continent, you have to get down and dirty.
Keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer.
How do we know that you aren't enemies?
Because at every turn, besides the one, we have shown you that we want to work with you, that we are dedicated to this cause. Is it not easier to just trust us than to constantly question our actions at every turn? We cannot have distrust within ourselves if we are going to make this happen.
And with this information, Mother Seraphine speaks again. What would you have us do with it? Knowing that Oblivion's March seems to be puppeteering the battlefield. What does that do for us?
If we keep in contact with the people who have told us this information, then we are privy to what is actually going on. They know the most information. We should use them for what they know. It can help us create better battle tactics. To know when to hit them and how.
We've also been in the process of forming alliances that would be willing to work with you, with Weisgard. I mean, if that's not a show of good faith, then I don't know what is.
Roll persuasion with advantage. Not you, Ibrahim. Larissa. You've been doing the most of talking.
Hey, don't worry, I switched my
But she gets
proficiency.
advantage,
It's not
okay,
so
good.
bad.
You gave her advantage.
I'm also going to use my whatever commanding presence. Okay. 22. Sorry, I messed up the math in my head and had to redo it.
That's okay. We have seen Kairos act in good faith. And if you believe that working closely with Oblivion's March will lead us to a world without arid soldiers, without the threat of violence upon us, will lead us to a change towards peace, then I am inclined to believe not only in you, but in all of us in this endeavor. If you believe that you can get us an audience with Oblivion's March, then we can speak closer on how we are to respond. And so with that being said, and she looks around the room, with a show of hands, who agrees that Weisgard will join the cavalcade of humanity? An empty room, full of silence.
Oh, good.
No hands raised in the air.
There's one person who was going to, but they saw nobody else did it, and they were like, oh, no. I absolutely can't do that.
Then, under conscription of Athia, and that of the powers I hold as Mother Seraphim, we are going to war. And at that moment, the room is filled with a smell of sulfur. An explosion of flame in the middle of the throne room.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Smoke dissipates, and all that is left are white robes. The speaker, his helm glowing ever so ethereally in the lights of the throne room, immediately takes to their knees and bows to Mother Seraphine. Pardon my intrusion. The Atir jump from their stands aloft above the throne room, all weapons drawn, their runes glowing in their hands.
He means no harm. He never does.
Kill him.
Kill him. Kill
He
him.
can't do anything.
It's not even that he can't, he just won't. You could
Dragon
probably
behind
kill
him.
him and he would not fight back. Look, he just wishes to plead his case to the mother
Roll persuasion.
Oh no. Oh no. All of these rolls have been so bad, it's like literally insane. I might use my inspiration.
Oh my god. Okay, I gotta go for real now.
Oh, what
I
happened?
got called in.
You got called in?
Yeah.
No. Okay, be safe. We'll talk to you after. We'll update you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
With your inspiration.
Yeah, worse. 13, and that's my last thing that I can do.
Mother Seraphim holds her hands aloft, stopping the tear. Speaker of the Draconic Mother.
It's actually 17, because you take the higher.
Yeah, it's advantage.
17.
Okay. You intrude upon holy passage here. You step into a hole of giants with the scent of dragons upon you. A worm in human skin. Why should we let you leave here alive? We will give you time to speak, and we will make our decision accordingly. And those of you who are close enough, you can see under the speaker's veil a soft smile. We have found the Twilight Veil. We have found an ancient relic of giant kind. Let's hear all step closer. It is unharmed. And we intend to keep it that way. All we ask is you allow us to aid in this war. And we will ensure you have the means to enter the Twilight Veil and recover Vonenheim. And maybe then you will be closer to the Church of the Plains. With those in hand, Yatnar monuments. Someone who carries the scent of worms must not look like much of a threat anymore. Do they? He continues to bow. He's gonna roll persuasion. Mother Seraphine sort of lowers her hands. Stand down, Etir. If what you speak is true, speaker, then what would you ask of us? And how do you believe you can aid? I ask you humbly, deliver unto us the blue orb, and our mother will rain down an honest judgment of Arid, and Elbrin will return to its original form. And now she tells me that dragons and giants may live together in peace. You come to us begging on the floor to bring back a so-called goddess, draconic in nature, blasphemous in this hall. I have no weapons. I have nothing but my word and hers. If this is not something you agree to, I will happily leave. But understand, in my prophecies, a black tide will come, and no light short of the chromatic blessing of Tuhanul can drown it out. I am not to be anything but a friend, and I believe I have friends here. If you do not trust me, trust them, as they were the ones who invited me. Kairos. And the whole of the Aetir turned to you.
And I say, to be fair, I assumed he would walk through the front door. That's what we thought he would do. I didn't know why he likes to make an entrance.
He has been here before, bowed to you before, pled his case before. We figured in this time, at this moment, that he, as much as anyone else, should be allowed to plead his case. I look at Airset like,
Yes, I mean this. Listen, if we're willing to negotiate the chained wings accord, the dissolution of the chained wings, and we're trying to recruit the wyverns and the help from Waipo and Mulitushu. You know, there's no for reservations or, you know, this is all out, you know, existential crisis for the fate of Norfain and Elbrin. And it would be foolish in our estimation to not include someone as powerful and influential as the speaker and not request support from that, especially if they're willing to help.
So, then, Kairos, you believe he knows the location of the Twilight Veil?
I mean, he's never lied to us before.
Has he ever told the truth to us?
he's told his truth.
Has he ever said anything?
I would believe that he knows where the Twilight Veil is, or they do. We spoke to some of his compatriots before who claimed they had found it or were very close.
Roll persuasion.
Me? Hopefully me.
Sure, you did a lot of the talking
Yeah,
on this
okay,
one.
good.
And I'll give you advantage for Narissa.
I've been rolling so
Alright.
fucking bad, it's insane. I haven't rolled above a 10 once today.
Okay, 27.
27. I stand here before you in the same capacity as the speaker. Mother Arthia blesses me with her voice. And here now, she has little to say. Arthia may have given birth to the Yatna, may have once been a wife to Anam, the god of giants. But her allegiance lies with Elbrin. So tell me, Kairos, do you see a future where dragons and giants can walk this planet in peace?
I do. I believe it's possible. And I believe that the steps necessary to get us to that kind of a world starts right now. And it starts with the mutual trust with Waipo, Molitushu, and the speaker. That world can exist, but effort needs to be put on both sides. And I see that right now, here, in this chamber. Speaker has come before you, Waipo has come before you, and you have given them the opportunity to speak. All three of you have made efforts. It's the first step.
And Desiree stands in between the speaker and Mother Seraphine, her sword drawn, blazing like sunlight, pointed toward the speaker's head, who is yet to raise it from the ground. You can't be serious. This goes against everything that we stand for. What was the Drag Creek for? Why did we fight dragons in the first place if we are just going to be complicit in their return? They were killed off for a reason, and this speaker only speaks lies. Wandenheim is a myth. The Church of the Plains we will find ourselves. We can do this without the help of dragons. They are abhorrent, a farce upon this planet. If we bring them back, Arthia will no longer favor Elbrin, and she will leave us. You know this to be true. Harrison, go ahead and roll persuasion.
I'm conflicted on whether this is something that should even happen.
My inspiration.
Oh no, we're using all of our shit.
Boy.
24.
Okay. Let's see.
I gotta beat her persuasion.
Yeah. Let's see what it came out to be. You said 24? My dear daughter, I also walk and wade in the fear of this decision. Ersid was there when the Nightbringer was slain. And though we mourn him dearly, the Crusades that were sanctioned under his rule divvied Elbrin. Their moor, where we kept all of Scaly Kind, was worse than a prison. And after his death, after the Crusades had ended, those same lizard folk and dragonborn now walk our streets and aid us in the reparations of a dragon attack, not taking allegiance to the creature that terrorized our home. I will ask now, by a show of hands, is the blue orb to be returned to its rightful owner? And Mother Seraphine raises a hand.
Oh, you're gonna do?
Oh.
I think very long and hard about it. Like, I am so conflicted about this, and I will tentatively start to raise my hand, and I will be like, I cannot be sure of this decision either. I cannot say with 100% certainty whether this is what we should do. But I want to believe in a better world. I want to trust the speaker. If nothing else, this is a show of good faith for each other. And if this decision does turn out to not be what we thought it was, we will have each other to fix it. And that is much more than we can ask for, to deal with things divided. So I will put my hand up as well.
I need you to roll persuasion.
God, come on. Okay. 20.
Waipo raises his hand. Nonary raises his hand. King Iltar raises his hand.
Okay, let's go.
Sallow looks at you, Narissa. And silently raises a hand. There's, let's see, 6, 7.
Vincent, are you gonna raise your hand? Raise your hand.
Make your choice, Vincent. Don't succumb to peer pressure. There's 8 people in Weisgard, and then there's you, 3, 4. Uwasa's gonna raise her hand.
To be fair, it's okay if the decision doesn't pass. Like I said, this is just, hey, I believe in this.
I'm just counting. Okay, so there's
Count them up.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 with Uwasa, 5 with Iltar, 6 with Waipo, 7 with Nonary. It's
And Mother Seraphine raised her.
no, I'm just counting. I
What
think
exactly is a blue orb?
They're the Dragon
What is it?
Balls.
The Dragon Balls that will bring back the dragons?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can trust this speaker of 2 and 0. If you guys ask Vincent to raise his hand,
It's your decision.
I
If
don't have
you,
enough time
Yeah,
to convince
I'm not
you
gonna
of
be
that.
like, you should do it, cause like she wants you to make your own decision.
I don't think we can trust the speaker to be like, we gave him every opportunity to build trust, and he has not. He's done everything to not be trustworthy.
Guess we
at
just
least
have a
me.
lot more history with
We
him.
we have more history with him. To,
Yeah.
yeah.
All I know is that he wouldn't tell us what he was going to do, and then he exploded into a council room.
Yeah, that's just kind of
Does
what he
not seem
does.
like a trustworthy guy. And I don't see how he himself would help in the war effort.
He's not.
So I decline.
Mother Seraphine, Salho, Uwasa, Iltar, Airsid, Wipo,
We're both
and Nonnery. That's 7.
And Narissa, you didn't say Narissa.
I didn't say Narissa?
Mm-mm.
That's 8. In a room of 15.
Oh my god! That's crazy.
So I, Mother Seraphine, under the grace of Arthea, and the powers beholden to me over Weisgard, ask you this final question, speaker. Do you honor your words spoken here? Your belief in your goddess and in yourself, that together we can eradicate the threat of Arid and lead all of Elbrin to peace. And the speaker finally stands. I do. Vonenheim will not be affronted to under my command. And once I am in possession of all of the orbs, I will absolve my position as the speaker and stand with you on the battlefield.
Me and he. Unheard of.
Alright.
I don't believe it when we see it, but okay.
He's gonna roll persuasion.
This shit is crazy. I'm sure Connor's like, what's going on? But like, Ibrahim and I are like, oh my god.
Ooh-wee, what does his shit say?
Cause nutty. America, you have to ally with Russia. How else are we gonna beat the Nazis?
Yeah, and they did. Isn't that fucking crazy? That, you know, they didn't hate each other. They hate each other that. No, they didn't.
They did, yeah. We really didn't fuck with Stalin for good reason. But then we fucked that up by not telling him about bombs.
That'll do it.
So you should probably be honest with the people you're allied with.
And Mother Seraphim speaks. And so, I will make this decision, and no, I do not make it lightly. You, speaker, must reveal yourself.
Speaker reveal.
No masks. We must trust you. And as we head to the battlefield together, I will it that I will be by your side.
This
Whoa.
is so Infinity War Endgame.
Yeah.
And if I catch the slightest inkling of your betrayal, you will be smitten by the power of the Yatna where you stand.
Smoke.
Both.
Oh.
And the speaker, standing, removes his helm.
Speaker reveal.
A handsome
No.
elven man with golden skin and cheeks brushed with red scales great scar that you can see pushing from the middle of his head through one eye, through his neck, and into the rest of his body. Platinum hair, short and slicked back, a very gentlemanly appearance, with his copper eyes making eye contact with the mother. Her eyes widen as she recognizes his face.
Oh
Oh my god.
And we're gonna end the session here today. Thanks for playing, you guys. Thanks for watching, my friends. It was a good time hanging out. We will see you next Thursday.
The cliffhanger is crazy.
Have a wonderful night, y'all.
She said, "Oh my god, my ex-husband?"
What race is Mother Seraphine?
Human.
Human.